Hello everyone, welcome to my crafty studio for another Make It Monday. I'm Lisa Fulford and I'll be your creative coach for today. We're doing this very cute fun fold card and I'll have you smiling at how cute these dinos are. Kind of opens up this way. It says, hope your birthday is dynamite. Roar means happy birthday in dinosaur. I just think he's so adorable, both of them and everything. So this is what we're doing. And so we're going to create this fun fold card with the Darling Dinos bundle. And we're also going to use the Timeless Plaid 6x6. And it is gorgeous plaids. Different things that you can do with all these. I mean, different types of plaids, different. And then on the backs, they're like little ginghams and checks and just so many cute designs. And so I really like this paper. And so I want to thank all of you for subscribing and watching my video tutorials. I appreciate each and every one of you for that. And if this is your first time here, I hope that you will like what you see. So let's get started with this adorable card. So I'm going to move this off to the side. These are the dies that we are going to use. The balloon dies, and then the little dinosaur guy, and then this dinosaur, and then the rocks right here. And then this is from the, let's see, Something Fancy die set, and it's for the little background piece. So that's where I got all that. This is going to sit off to the side. All right, so I didn't do much of the cutting for this. I'm going to bring in my paper cutter, and we're going to do it together, and hopefully it'll go pretty quickly. But so here is my piece for that, and this piece is for stamping and different things. So we're going to start with the base. So here are the cutting instructions. So we're doing Mossy Meadow cardstock. So I'm going to cut this piece down to 4 1/4 by 11. Then I'll do my scoring because we're going to use the other half for the other section of this card. So here's 4 1/4, and it'll be 11 this way. So cut. So this piece will be for another piece, and then we're going to score it at 5 1/2. We're going to come in here at 5 1/2. Get that cutting blade out of the way, and we're going to score. Okay. So that's our card base, but then we're going to slide it down and we're cut off 2 3/4. So 2 3/4. Get that lined up, and we're going to cut that away. So this will be the front of our card, and this will be the main part of our card. So while I'm at it, go ahead and fold this. And we're going to score this. Oops, pardon me. Oh, gracious. 3-ring circus today. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and score that. These pieces are ready, along with this piece. And so that is this top front piece, and then this section here. So now we're going to work on this section right here, the center, and that is 3 1/4 by 10. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down to 10. So this is 11, so I'm going to take 1 inch off to bring it down to 10. Knock my paper cutter off. I mean, knock my ink over. All right, so now this is down to 10 inches by 4 1/4, but we want it 3 1/4. So we're going to come in here to 3 1/4. I know you couldn't see that I cut 1 inch off because it was off camera. Sorry about that. We're going to cut that down 3 1/4 by 10. Bring this in here at 5 inches. Move that cutting blade out of the way and spool. Okay. And then you take that and fold that in half as well. And we're going to make sure we get that lined up. We're going to burnish. There's our card bases. Now we're going to work on our basic white. So I have, this is just a half sheet right here of basic white. And we need 2 pieces that are 4 7/8. Well, if you, with it 8 1/2 inches wide, I'm certain that's what this is. That'll work better. So this is, let's see, yep, 8 1/2. I cannot get both of them out of my piece of paper at the 8 1/2 because it'd be 4 1/4 for half of it to get 2. So we're going to do the 4 7/8 this way, and I think it's 5 1/2, half a sheet. Yeah, it's right at 5 1/2. So I'm going to put this in here at 4 7/8. Line that up, make certain I've got it straight at the top. And just for reference, usually this line right here where it turns into the dark, just barely laying on top of that line is 5 1/4. And then this line here is referenced with your 5 1/2. So if you need 5 1/2 and you put that up there, that's your 5 1/2 reference clear down to here. So that's a little tip. So we wanted at 4 7/8 right there. Close this off, cut that away. And this is a great strip for to do sentiments later on another card. So move that off. And then we want to turn it to 3 1/8. And we want 2 of those. That way you get the most out of your piece of cardstock and you're not wasting a bunch of paper. And then see, we have this left over that we can use for stamping other images, or we could do another one of these out of it. All right, so these are my 2 white pieces that are going to go on the inside pieces right here and here. Now then we're going to cut our DSP, and I have some scraps of DSP from where I was doing this card already. So we're just going to work on that. This one here is the base down here at the bottom, and it takes a larger piece for that. And so it's the plaid. We need 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to cut it here at 4 first. Turn it to 5 1/4. The reason why I do it that way is I could have a long skinny strip like that, or I could have a longer wider strip, because if you cut this part off it would be a shorter strip and then this one just be long and skinny. But I figure I could use this one more likely than just this one. So that's off to the side. So that's our bottom piece. Once we get everything cut, the rest of it's not too bad. There is some coloring. And so the next piece is going to be the, let's see, the green checked. So this piece here. Let's see. Let me look. Okay, so the small squares is 4 1/8, and the green checks on. Okay, so we want to go to 4 1/8. These are both. Get it in there. They're 4 1/8, like that. And then because this is the small squares. It's also the green check. And so we need a 2 1/4 and 2 1/4. So 2 1/4. Wait a minute. Well, we'll do that one for the 2 1/4. That is not the size of this. I wrote it down incorrectly. Sorry about that. 2 3/4 by 4 1/8. That one's 2 1/2. I do not where I got it. So 2 1/2 for this other. So for the green checks, it's 2 1/2. And then this one is, let's see, 4 1/8 by 5/8, 2 5/8. So by 2 5/8. Sorry about that. I need 2 5/8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5/8. I do not know where I got my measurements. So yes, that's it. 2 5/8. There's that one. Okay. Then this one will be that top piece. So I cut a piece that I didn't need. All right, so this one will be 2 1/2 by 4 1/8. No, by 4. Good gracious, I'm really messing up. By 4 inches. I'm glad I went over these with you. So 2 1/2. I'm gonna double check that just to be certain. So, yep, 2 1/2. So 2 1/2 by 4. I will put the measurements in the description and I will be certain to get it correct in that. So sorry so much about that. It happens. All right, and then we need a plaid piece or a small piece that's 3 1/8 by 3/4, and I've got, let's see, this one will be a little bit longer, but I'll trim it off once I put it on. So that's going to be for my inside. So I will change these measurements and put them in the description below. All right, so move that out of the way. We got all of our pieces here. Move the paper cutter. All right, so this piece is going to be for stamping. And these I'm going to need a little bit to go with them. And then I have a scratch piece of paper here. So how I did this was I put my dinosaurs together. I have some rocks and I have some balloons, and those are the things that we're going to cut. So I'm going to bring in my Memento black ink and I'm going to bring it to the dinosaurs. Just like that. I don't know why it's so dark on this one side. Just inking them up. Bring these down here. Stamp and lift. So those are finished. Need a couple rocks. I don't want to get them too close because I don't want to cut them when I'm doing the die cutting. And then we need about 5 or 6 balloons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That way I don't think anything will get cut. So that's basically, you need about a quarter sheet of paper to be able to stamp all of those images. Move that out of the way. I don't know if I'll need, oh, I'll still need this one. All right. So the colors that I used were, let's see, for this guy here, I used Chery Cobbler, and the pool party's light and dark. And then I used a dark lemon lolly. And so I just did the dinosaur around his nose and his mouth and his legs. I did it with dark, and then I filled him in with the light. And then I added yellow at the lemon lolly to his nails and to the little razorback. And then I used the Chery Cobbler for the spots and for the tummy. So that's how I did that dinosaur. And I would color that one up. But to save time, I did them ahead of time. And then for this little guy, I did him with the Old Olive, light and dark. And I just darkened in his tail and around his legs and his tummy, his mouth, and around those lines. So wherever there's some specific lines and where it would have shadow, I did the dark, and then I blended it out with the light. I added the Chery Cobbler to the spots. It kind of almost looks like Melon Mambo, but I just did it once. I didn't go over it again. And then I used the lemon lolly for the horns on that. So that's how you color that one. And then for the rocks, and I did a few of these just in case I wanted to use them. I used the pool party for those. And then for the balloons, I got 1, 2, 3. I did 6 just in case. I did 2 of each color. These are the dark lemon lolly on the edge and light blending it out. This is Chery Cobbler, and then blended it out, and then I went over it again so that it gives it just a little bit of shading on that one side. And then with the pool party, I did the outside darker and then blended it out. And so that's how I did each one of those things. And so these are the colors. Now I did use Balmy Blue for some of it, but I didn't care for the Balmy Blue together, so I pulled out one of the other, the dark pool party. You can mix your colors, but I didn't like the color that I was getting with that. So these are the colors that I used for each of those. So pool party, lemon lolly, Old Olive, light and darks, and then this one here is just the light Chery Cobbler. So those are the things that I used for that. And so I've got my images all ready. Just trying to make it where it's not such a long video. Put these pieces down. Kind of set them over here out of the way. Then we're going to do some of our stamping before we put things together. And if you want to see like how I do my blending, I have some other videos where I did do those things, so feel free to go back and look at those. All right, so I blended top and bottom of one of these and then of this one, so do that for both. So I have Balmy Blue and Old Olive. Open those both up and bring in my blending brushes. I'm going to use the Old Olive first. Start down here and blend it on the paper first, and then blend onto my piece like that. And then I'm going to start at the bottom and blend. Sorry for shaking the camera. I'm going to kind of blend up just a little bit up the sides. All right. I can always add more if I need to. And then here's my blue. Turn this around. Bring down the sides. Across the top. Kind of leave the middle just a little bit white so that it kind of helps with spotlighting the image. Okay, so there it looks. You can see that it's got green and it's got the blue. So do this one. Same way with this one. I'm not going to go all the way down to the green. Just enough that you can see there's some color to that. So that's all the blending. All right, so we need to do some stamping of our grass on these. So bring in my little grass stamp. And what I did was I kind of went off here to the edge, drop down beside it, come back up. So I'm not making them go straight across or different things, so I'm just kind of filling it in, but at different heights. And just kind of, this one's shorter, taller. You can add another one up in there if you want. Over here. There we go. So that's the grass that we're going to do, and I'm finished with that stamp. And then let's see, we need that hope your birthday is dynamite. So we'll bring that in. Once you get all the stamping done, it goes together quite quick. So hope your birthday is dynamite. Try to get it straight here. Not too bad. And on the inside, RAR means happy birthday. Put the lid on this. We're not finished with the memento because we're going to do the balloon strings, but we need, oh, there's the Balmy Blue. So RAR means in dinosaur. That's this piece. That looks pretty good. We are finished with the Balmy Blue, I do believe. And I believe we're finished with the old olive. If you need them, I can bring them back in. Now I need the Chery Cobbler to tie in those balloons. And it says happy birthday. So RAR means happy birthday in dinosaur. I hope you're enjoying this card and this fun fold. Even with my little measurements off a little bit, that's okay. I did correct it and figure out I have the wrong thing. But I will put the right ones in the description. All right, so that is my inside, my middle, my top. I think we're doing well there. So we still need to do some of the balloon strings. So I have those here. All right, so I'm going to grab him, decide about where I think I'm going to want him. I need those strings to overlap in the back. There's that one. And then that one, like that. And then here we have the same thing, kind of. Bring this down here. Decide about where I want him. So about right there. So I'm going to go up. And we'll turn it so that's going a different direction. Put that there. And we'll turn it again and have it going there. And then that will be covered by him. I do believe that is all the stamping. Now it's time to put this cutie together. All right, so I'm going to bring these pieces in. This piece is going to get glued down to this. Here's my little cupcake. It's my birthday month, and so actually my birthday week, I guess. And so I have a cupcake for my glue, and it comes from the Country Hive. If you want one of those, they make adorable glue holders. So I'm going to line this up here on the front, and it's just about an 1/8 inch difference, so you get about a 1/16 inch border, like that. Then we'll take this, and we'll add this piece down here, and then we'll trim it down. So I'm just adding glue to my, whoops. I don't want to add it too far over. Yep, that's about right, looks like. We'll bring this in and line it up down here at the bottom. Give that a moment to dry before I try cutting on that. And then this guy, we're going to add our little rock there. Decide where I'm going to want to put him. Need him to go forward. So I'm going to about half this larger rock. Just going to put glue there. Not like that. I'll put dimensionals on the back of him. Love how these dimensionals, you can just tear them if you need to. Get the backings off. Bring him in. May have to stamp another string just because I don't think it's showing very well. You just kind of go with it. And if I need to tuck another balloon behind, I can. I've made an extra one just in case, but I think he's going to cover up the whole string. So there's that. Bring in a little dot of glue here. Add my one balloon. And then a dimensional on the back of one. Like that. Once you have all the cutting and you have all the coloring finished, it goes together pretty quick. Okay, so this one's all finished. I can toss that. And then we're going to open this up. I'm going to work on that really quick. Put him right here. Yep, I think that'll work. And I'm going to pop him up on some dimensionals. You can cut these, but I found they tear just as well. Okay. Bring this little guy down here. So he's walking through the grass. Glue this one down. Add that in there. Glue a red one down. Kind of overlap. Dimensional in for the yellow one. And put that right there. All right, so this one here, I'm going to flip it over now that it's dry. And you just run your scissor along the cardstock itself so that you can cut it straight, but don't cut your cardstock. There you go. Pretty straight there. Now let's put things together. So this goes on this inside. The part where we just trimmed that DSP off. I couldn't put it on the inside till we trimmed it. So now we can stick that in here. Just like that. And again, you get about a 1/16 inch border because it's an 1/8 inch smaller than the opening of the Mossy Meadow. We're going to add this piece to the top. Make certain that that is what I did. Yes, it is. We're going to just add glue to the corners. I like doing the corners because if the corners are down, it's golden. If they raise up, it doesn't matter if the sides are down or not. They get caught on things. Now this one here is a 1/4 inch smaller, so you get a bigger border. Put this inside that plaid. And what's fun about this DSP is they all coordinate together. I love Stampin' Up's DSP for that reason. So anything in that pack pretty much will go together. But I tried to stick with the blues and the greens. Plaids and checks and squares. Because it's all kind of in the same family. Just trying to get these edges lined up. It looks pretty good. We're going to put him in here and try to center him. And so we're just putting glue on the back of this. Oops. All right, so here's the front, and it opens this way. The glue's on the back. We're going to put it under this flap, and we're going to try to center it. If you have one of your grid papers, that's great. I'm trying to go by my grid of the plaid. Oops, and it slid. Okay, we'll close that down. I'm going to add this piece to that piece we cut off the front. If I'm going too fast, if you rewatch my video and you want to make one of these, you can stop and start it. And see what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, but I just wanted to share this with you. And I'm certain a lot of you have, more things to do than just sit and watch really long videos all the time. But if it's something that you like, you could always come back and when you've got time and recreate it. Okay, so now we're going to add this to this card base. I'm going to bring this up, so about up here at the top is the only place I want to put glue. So right along here, do my corners. I know that that is about where I want it, and I'm trying to make it a little bit equal down here. I'm trying to use that line, so that's in place. Take this little guy. Glue him down. We've got so much dimension. There we go. We have dimension here. We also have it here. And then we're a little bit more subtle on the inside. So that is our card. Isn't he just adorable? So there we have that. I hope your birthday is dynamite. Roar means happy birthday in dinosaur. He just makes me smile. He's so adorable. Cute, cute, cute. Oh, I hope you enjoyed today's Make It Monday, this fun fold, and that you'll join me again soon. Don't forget to share and like and leave me a comment. Let me know how much you like this card. And then don't forget to register for my newsletter, and there's a link down below. But until next time, happy stamping. Bye-bye.